I am pretty sure that you have heard of the term imposter before this, all thanks to the game Among Us, which really got us this lockdown. Literally everyone I saw was playing Among Us on their phone or PC, and I was not exceptional. To be extremely honest, that game was quite addictive. But the term imposter has a wider use and definition. In psychology, there is a disorder known as imposter syndrome. Now, by the term imposter, you might prejudge that a person having the syndrome might behave like an imposter, like there was in Among Us, trying to betray and sabotage the tasks. But it is totally opposite to that in real life. A person having imposter syndrome might feel that he is inferior to everyone and is not as competent as others, and that really kills them from within. This can also be related to perfectionism. That is when you try to be perfect and every time you end up demeaning yourself. You might feel that you just don't belong anywhere and you don't deserve the place that you are in. This can really affect the mental health of a person and lead to severe inferiority complex. Let us talk about this in detail. But before we jump into the video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to never miss an update from us. Confidence is good, overconfidence is bad, and underconfidence is the worst, and that is exactly what you feel in imposter syndrome. You might feel that you are good for nothing, and you are dumb. Trust me, this syndrome can strike anyone, irrespective of their qualification, social status, salary, whatsoever. You might not even know who has it. Maybe your best friend, your sister, or even your teacher. These people who are affected by imposter syndrome can really be down with low self-confidence every time, and that can be really bad. You might see a person who always backs out, never participates, and always stays aloof. You might think that they have some really high ego or some self-absorbent attitude, but they might have imposter syndrome, and this can severely affect their participation in social events or even simple interactions with peers or associates. So make sure that you never prejudge someone before knowing what they are going through, because that might be worse. And if you can sense something is off about someone and they are pulling back from what they used to be, then make sure to take a step forward and help, because often it is a conversation that helps them stick together. Imposter syndrome has quite an interesting history as well. It was first coined in the year 1970 by the psychologists Susan Ernst and Pauline Rose Clance. But firstly, this term was to be applied to only the high-achieving women, but later it gained a wider perspective and worldwide reference. Now, you might wonder what exactly are the characteristics of this syndrome? Because everyone knows this, every syndrome and disorder has a specific set of characteristics. For imposter syndrome, these are self-doubt, underestimating one's attributes, perceiving oneself to possess no skills or talent, blaming one's success to external forces, always trying to keep up to the expectations and standards, always living in a fear to be flawed, overachieving and underconfidence, and setting unrealistically high standards that can't be lived up to, and feel a constant disappointment on oneself. As you can understand, these characteristics are far apart from being healthy. If you are someone who relates to these characteristics, then you should definitely talk to someone and ask for help. These people also hesitate to ask for help from anyone because they don't want to burden anyone with their problems. This doesn't always hold true, and everyone has different characteristics, but most of the people are introverted, and they can't open up to anyone that easily. You might be shocked to know that for some people, imposter syndrome helps to achieve things and helps to develop a zeal to do so, but that too comes at a cost. They have anxiety at all points of time. They are constantly bugged by the fact that they need to be the best. They need to prepare things thoroughly, and that they need constant working and verifying that they are well prepared and they haven't missed out on anything. The zeal of achieving and working for better is good, but this is absolutely unhealthy, and they do all these just to make sure that no one thinks they are a fraud or dumb and assume that they don't belong here. This can also be a result of bullying someone and always making fun of them. Some common references can be drawn from everyday lives. There are some people who study and revise till the last second before the exam starts. Yeah, last-minute revision can really help to freshen up the memory of what you studied, but compulsive studying can't be good no matter what. The presentation that you prepare for the class assignment doesn't need you to wake up every night for a week. And it can even be a lunch date with your friends where they are talking about their work life, and you feel you are nothing when compared to them, and you need to stand up to their level. You might feel you don't belong here in this group, and you need to do a lot better to be part of this group, but it really isn't that. It can also be something like walking down the street, seeing a beautiful woman, or someone with a great car and underestimating yourself of not having the same. This is a serious disorder which needs treatment. Imposter syndrome also refers to social anxiety, and this always makes you feel like a fraud. Pretty much fraud like the imposter among us. The only difference is that in real life, their self-doubt makes them the imposter, and it is not a pleasant feeling, while in Among Us, the game makes them the imposter and everybody dies to be that. That's why they say there is a huge difference between real life and real life. Imposter syndrome is not listed as a disorder of the DSM-5, but that doesn't make it null and void. Imposter syndrome is very common, and 80% of the population is believed to suffer through the same at some point in their life. The agony, the pain, and the feeling of worthlessness is real and big time, and most of the people can relate to what I am saying at this point. If I am absolutely honest, I have also experienced some episodes of this syndrome, and have seen some of my really close friends going through the same. It is really traumatic, and the feeling of not fitting in or being dumb or not good enough is really disturbing. A really bad aspect of having imposter syndrome is low self-ego, which leads to a lot of problems. You see, when you have a low ego and a low self-esteem, you get too preoccupied with yourself, doubting and questioning everything and everyone around yourself, and that can't be good. This not only creates a strain on your mental health, but also creates a bridge between you and your loved ones. You are so self-occupied that you tend to overlook their problems, which leads to the creation of distance between you people. Having low self-ego or low self-esteem can also lead to anxiety, stress, depression, overthinking, and all of these are just the worst. A healthy person should be free from all these things, and you must talk to people when you feel the need to, because otherwise, these things have the capability to kill you, and you just can't let that happen. When in anxiety, stress, or depression, people adapt to various coping methods like abuse or addiction like smoking, drugs, or alcohol, which might seem to ease the emotional pain, but it is the worst for your physical health. This can also affect food habits, and that can lead to a severe change in gain, loss of body weight, which in turn can seriously affect your concentration power, and thus, this cycle continues. You might start feeling dizzy and always find yourself with low energy levels, but with a constant need to be the best and work even harder. You might push yourself a lot, which leads to nothing but ruining your mental and physical health, and you can't be a well-functioning individual if that's the case. Now, these might seem like a phase to some people, and they just might tend to avoid it. But this whole thing leads to worsening of the situation and worsening of your mental health, and in extreme cases, your physical health. There are no pills that you can gulp down with water which will ease the process, but there is always someone to talk to. Or if you just don't feel like talking, just write down your thoughts, make a journal, or embrace any other hobby that you might have. It can be as simple as baking, cleaning, dressing up, writing journals, or doodling. Whatever you feel makes you feel better, just do that. But please make sure to stay away from unhealthy habits. That can really ruin your physical health. So you see, the term imposter might be fun in games and a fantasy world, but it really is not that great in real life. So try to help people. You never know how you can change someone's life. So this was it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to like and share the video and let us know in the comments what comes to your mind when you hear the term imposter. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to always stay updated when we release fresh content.